The lights go out. Suddenly, your own home feels different. The same walls surround you. The same furniture waits in silence. But your heart beats just a little faster. Nothing has changed. Except what you can see. Humans have feared the dark for thousands of years. Yet darkness itself has never hurt anyone. It has no teeth. No claws. No voice. It is simply the absence of light. So why does it feel so dangerous? Your brain begins answering that question before you even realize it. Every small sound becomes important. Every shadow seems alive. A floorboard creaks. The wind brushes against a window. Your imagination immediately starts filling in the missing pieces. This reaction is older than civilization. Long before cities existed, our ancestors slept beneath trees, inside caves, or out on open grasslands. When the sun disappeared, the world changed completely. Vision became unreliable. Predators gained the advantage. A hunting cat could see far better than a human. Wolves hunted together. Hyenas searched for anything weak or alone. For early humans, surviving the night was never guaranteed. Those who ignored strange sounds often disappeared. Those who assumed every rustle might be dangerous usually lived long enough to have children. Evolution rewarded caution. Over thousands of generations, natural selection shaped nervous systems that treated uncertainty as a warning rather than a mystery. This idea is supported by the work of evolutionary psychologist Randolph M. Ness. He argues that many human fears are like overly sensitive smoke alarms. They create false alarms because missing one real threat could be fatal. Think about a smoke detector. It sometimes rings when someone burns toast. That is annoying, but failing to ring during a real fire would be catastrophic. Your brain works the same way. It would rather frighten you 100 unnecessary times than miss the single predator hiding in the darkness. This is called the smoke detector principle. It explains why darkness feels threatening even when you know you are completely safe. But another system is also working behind the scenes. Deep inside your brain sits a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. It constantly scans for danger. Brain imaging studies have shown that the amygdala can react to possible threats before the conscious parts of your brain fully understand what you are seeing. Sometimes your body prepares for danger before your mind has identified anything at all. That strange feeling when you walk through a dark hallway. Your brain is making predictions faster than your conscious thoughts can catch up. Why would evolution build such an impatient alarm system? Because hesitation once carried a deadly price. Imagine hearing footsteps outside your cave nearly 50,000 years ago. Would you wait for proof, or would you prepare to run? For your ancestors, acting first was often the difference between survival and extinction. Modern life has changed. Your nervous system has not. Every night, ancient survival software quietly wakes up inside a modern brain. The strange part is that darkness does not only hide danger. It also forces your brain to create it. When light disappears, your eyes collect far less information. Your brain hates missing information. Instead of accepting uncertainty, it starts making educated guesses. Most of the time, those guesses are harmless. Sometimes, they are terrifying. A jacket hanging on a chair suddenly looks like a person. A tree branch becomes an outstretched arm. A pile of clothes seems to breathe for a split second. Then you switch on the light. Everything returns to normal. Scientists call this pareidolia. It is the tendency to see meaningful patterns where none actually exist. Faces in clouds. Animals in rock formations. Human figures in dark shadows. Your brain evolved to recognize faces incredibly quickly. Even a false positive was usually safer than a false negative. Mistaking a tree for a person costs almost nothing. Mistaking a hidden predator for a tree could cost everything. This ability has fascinated neuroscientists for decades. Research by neuroscientist Vilayanar S. Ramachandran has shown just how powerfully the human brain searches for familiar patterns, especially faces. Your mind would rather invent an explanation than admit it does not know. Darkness makes that habit even stronger. Then your hearing takes over. Without reliable vision, the brain gives more attention to sound. Every tiny noise suddenly feels louder. The hum of a refrigerator, water moving through pipes, a distant dog barking. These sounds existed all day. You simply ignored them. Now they become clues. Your heartbeat speeds up. Your breathing changes. Stress hormones begin moving through your bloodstream. Within seconds, your body prepares for action. You are not imagining that reaction. It is real. The hormone adrenaline increases alertness. Your muscles tense. Your pupils widen, trying to capture every available photon of light. Blood flow shifts toward the muscles that would help you fight or run. Your body is preparing for a threat that may not even exist. Why would evolution accept so many false alarms? Because the cost of overreacting was usually far smaller than the cost of ignoring real danger. This ancient system still shapes modern life. It is the reason children often fear sleeping with the lights off. It is why adults sometimes feel uneasy walking through an empty parking garage at night. It is why a silent hallway feels longer after midnight than it does at noon. Horror filmmakers understand this instinct remarkably well. Notice how the monster is rarely shown immediately. Instead, they hide it. They let your imagination do the work. A shadow. A distant sound. A slow-moving door. The human brain almost always creates something scarier than any creature shown on a screen. What if the greatest monster has always been your own imagination? That question has followed humanity for thousands of years. Because every dark night asks your brain to solve the same impossible puzzle. What is hiding where I cannot see? Thousands of years ago, humans discovered something extraordinary. Fire did more than provide warmth. It pushed back the night. For the first time, people could gather after sunset without surrendering completely to darkness. Around glowing campfires, families shared food, told stories, planned hunts, and passed knowledge to the next generation. The fire became more than a tool. It became a circle of safety. Everything beyond its light remained unknown. That contrast shaped human culture. Across civilizations, darkness became a symbol of mystery, danger, and the unseen. Light came to represent knowledge, hope, and protection. Even today, those symbols surround us. We speak of bringing something to light. We describe confusion as being left in the dark. Our language still carries echoes of ancient survival. Then came electricity. In the late 19th century, streets that had been dangerous after sunset suddenly glowed through the night. Homes became brighter than ever before. For the first time in history, millions of people could banish darkness with the flip of a switch. But something unexpected happened. The darkness disappeared. The fear did not, because the fear was never really about darkness. It was about uncertainty. Your brain is not frightened by blackness itself. It is frightened by missing information. When you cannot clearly see what is around you, your mind begins building possibilities. Most are harmless. Some are frightening. All are attempts to answer the same ancient question. What happens next? Psychologists have long observed that people are uncomfortable with uncertainty. Our brains constantly search for patterns, explanations, and predictions because understanding the world increases our chances of survival. Darkness interrupts that process. It reminds us that we cannot know everything. The same instinct that once protected our ancestors now fuels ghost stories, urban legends, conspiracy theories, and even everyday worries. Curiosity is what led humans out of caves, across oceans, into laboratories, and eventually beyond our own planet. The greatest mysteries are rarely hiding in the dark. They are hiding inside the mind that is trying to understand it. And perhaps that is the real reason we have always feared the dark. If this video made you look at darkness a little differently, let us know in the comments. Have you ever experienced that strange feeling when the lights go out, even though you knew you were completely safe? If you enjoyed this documentary and want to explore more of the hidden science, history, and psychology behind our everyday lives, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us create more stories like this. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep asking questions, stay curious, and never stop exploring the world around you.